Hello, welcome back to my Flosstube channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Phoebe, and today we're going to be talking about cross stitch. That's what we talk about on this channel, and so I hope you enjoy what I'm going to share with you today. Just kick back, just maybe stitch, maybe you have some chores to get done. Let me just keep you company for a little bit. So I'm filming a little early today. I usually film on Sundays and my floss tubes go up every other Monday. Today I am filming on a Thursday because I'm preparing to go out of town tomorrow. So we're going to have a few less days of stitching maybe to talk about than I usually do, but I wanted to get this filmed before it was time for me to leave. So I don't have any finishes to share with you today. We're going to start with WIPS. That stands for Works in Progress. So those are all of the projects that I've been stitching on in the last couple weeks. Then I do have some haul to share with you, so we'll talk about that, and then I'm going to talk about plans. So just a reminder quickly, what you're looking at behind me, these are the projects that I was talking about in my previous video as just like a little reminder about what I was doing last time. And today I have all different projects that I'm going to talk with you about. So where am I going tomorrow? Well, I'm turning 40 in a couple weeks. And my husband Tim and I are going to go to London, and then we're going to be spending 5 days there, and then we're going to take a train to Paris and spend 5 days there. So very, very excited. My brother will be coming to house sit for us and watch the kids while we're gone. And so we'll be gone about 11 days. And so plans is going to involve everything that I've decided to take with me on this trip. So I'm very, very excited. I anticipate, I mean, not like a ton of stitching time, but I am taking a few projects with me because I have all of that plane trip, and then we have a train trip, and I am much earlier of a riser than my husband is, and so I will probably have some alone time each day like I like. And so I'm very, very excited. If you have any ideas of stitchy stores in either London or Paris that you know of that I could go to while I'm there, please leave that in the comments section below. I would love, 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 love to visit one while we're on our trip. We're going to be going on this trip with my bestie Heidi and her husband as well. So I'm really excited about that, to have a good friend with me and a stitching buddy with me. You guys hear me talk about Heidi all the time. In fact, she just recently started her own Flosstube channel. Her channel is called WIPS and Kits because Heidi loves to stitch on a lot of things. She loves to kit up a lot of things. She loves fabric, and so she decided to call her channel WIPS and Kits. So I will link it down below. Please go watch her first video and subscribe. She did not start with a whip parade, but when she does her whip parade, I'm so excited for it because it's going to be amazing. So definitely please head on over there. You guys have heard me talk about Heidi for probably all of my videos, so now you can go see my friend Heidi and see what kind of stuff she stitches on. We stitch on similar things, but I mean, almost all of her projects are different unless it's something that different than mine, unless it's something that we planned to start together. So yes, I will link that down below. I will also link everything that I'm talking about, whether it's a whip or haul items or things like that. So let's go ahead and look at the projects that I stitched on in the last 2 weeks. Whip number 1 is Salute to Abigail from Blackbird Designs. I stitched on this on July 4th, which was very, very nice. And this is coming along. I am not like close to a finish, but I am about a fourth, maybe a little bit more than a fourth of the way done, I think. And I still continue to love this project. So I am stitching this on a piece of a little bit darker fabric. So it's gonna be different, that's for sure, because there's a lot of kind of teals and rich browns in this piece of fabric. This is a piece that I hand dyed, and I'm using my own conversion of flosses here because I just didn't have the ones that were called for when I began the piece. So the flosses that I'm using are Buckeye Scarlet from Gentle Arts, Blue Jay from Gentle Arts, and then Navy and Light Khaki for the other 2 shades. So I think mostly when I stitched on it this time, I came in and I was working on, there's a big plant, potted plant right here in the middle of the design, and so I was putting in the stems and everything for that. I think I got maybe a little bit more done over on this side, or maybe it's on this side. I think it's this part right here. And then I think we put in this. So I just love this design. It makes me feel really happy when I stitch it. It's so delicious to stitch because it's Blackbird. All the colors are just so fun. And so I stitch on this every 4th of the month if you're new here, until it will be finished. And I really, really love it. This is a piece of 40 count fabric. So I'm stitching 1/2. And that's it for this piece. Next up, my next WIP was Summertime from Primrose Cottage Stitches. I feel like I got a lot done this time. For a while there, I think this has only been pulled 2 other times. This is one of the random projects that I drew to work on in the last video. And before, I had Days In completely, and then I had some of Beach. I ended up actually having to frog this a couple times because I miscounted. And then I put in the bathing suits and some of this orange coming in here. So just a bunch of things coming in. I love this project. I'm stitching it on a piece of 28 count Lugana, just plain white, so that everything will pop really nicely. The flosses are so bright and fun, and for the most part they're the called for DMC, but I did throw in a little bit of floss from Stash because I wanted to use some of these fun colors I've been collecting from other makers. So we have a Forbidden Fiber Co. Jade. These 2 colors are flosses that I have hand dyed myself. We have a plain white, we have the called for orange, and then for the brown I pulled in Gentle Arts Sarsaparilla. Here's another floss dyed by me. It's kind of a really yummy brown purple, more brown than purple. The pinks are all the called for DMC. And then I've got one silk in here from Bestitch Me, this really lovely bright marigold. This one's called Solar, and then the lighter yellow is a floss that I hand dyed. So really enjoying this. I am doing this 2/2 on the 28 count, and this just felt perfect to stitch on because we were getting so hot around here, and so it was perfect timing. The next project that I stitched on is my anniversary piece with my husband. I stitch on this every 10th of the month, and this is Pretty Hawaii, Pretty Little Hawaii from Satsuma. I just have a PDF download of this one, and it's coming along. Speaking of this project and Summertime from Primrose Cottage Stitches, just uses such beautiful, bright, flavorful shades. And so it's really, really fun to stitch on. I am stitching this on, I think, a piece of 14 count Aida, so it's going to be a good size. Here's my hand in reference. And this is just a piece that I got from like Michael's or something, or Hobby Lobby, where it's this already printed modeled color, and it's a light blue, and it's really, really lovely. So I've been putting it up on the screen where I was previously, so you can always see what kind of progress I've done. I was working a lot on the trees this time and finishing the rainbow and just pulling a few more things in here and there. I didn't spend a massive amount of time on this because I did only stitch on this for, you know, what I could stitch on the 10th, but it's coming along and I still love it. Oh, and if I didn't say this, these are the called for DMCs. Girls, I'm trying to film. on my nails today. By the way, this is Moonshine Mani, a shrubbery. This is our July comeback shade. Each month I bring back one previously retired polish that I've released in past years. And this one is from my Monty Python collection. And so that's why it's called a shrubbery. And this will be returning in a single batch at the very end of July on the 4th or the final Friday of July. And so if you like it, it'll be around for a limited time and then it will again retire. My website will be down for the period of time of our trip, but then it will be back up around the 24th or the 25th. Sorry for the noise, there's a lot of commotion in my house today. So my next WIP is a restart, and if you guys remember on my last video, I pulled this project. This is Cardinal Points from Long Dog Samplers, and I pulled it on my Tiny Decisions wheel. And so it gave me the opportunity to restart this project, and let me tell you, the change in the linen for this project made all the difference. I love this project now. So I'm just going to show you really quick what this project looked like before. So I was stitching this on super crunchy 14 count Aida, and I was not enjoying it because tactily I just did not love holding this super crunchy Aida. It's actually probably a good piece for Aida because it's so geometrical in the flow of the design that it works really well with Aida, but I just, every time I was getting this out, I was just not enjoying stitching on this piece of fabric at all. So I had done a middle start before, and that was the other thing that was throwing me off about this piece, because I started with this urn here and it's so Halloween vibes. All of this right here just felt so Halloween-y to me. And I was like, what am I stitching on? But this time I started in the top left and I started with the little dragonfly, and this is this raven in the corner. The black in the called for Gentle Arts is raven, but it's actually a green black. It is basically a very dark green, and then there's parts of it that are like a little bit lighter, so you can see the green pull through, so you can see that there. So then I got the dragonfly in, and then I started in with these leaves, and it's such a nice pattern, and I love stitching on it with one strand of floss. This is a piece of 40 count linen dyed by me, and it's like slightly greyish, this piece of fabric. So I mean, you can see in comparison to the white paper, you can see the color of the linen. So anyway, I was so glad that I restarted this. I'm stitching on it with all of the called for flosses from Gentle Arts, because this is a Gentle Arts, I believe, collab with Long Dog, and so they use a ton of different colors. So this is going to be my rainbow piece. I thought about starting a rainbow pride piece in June, and then I was like, when this got drawn in my last video, I thought, well, that's perfect because I didn't start something new, but this is just full of all the colors of the rainbow. So it's really fun. So that is all the flosses, and so I'm stitching on 1/2 on 40 count. Here is my progress. I think I worked on this for 2 days, and I really love it. Believe it or not, these yellows here, this is a different color than this thing that looks yellow right next to it. This is actually green. You can see the variegation right there in the top of that, or in the bottom of that little square, but then it goes over here, and then here is the green of it here. So that yellow to green, that's all one color. And then we had a yellow here and another different color yellow here. So lots of yellow and green going on so far, but really enjoying this piece. So very happy that this is not in timeout anymore, and I was really happy that it got drawn. Here is my new start in the last 2 weeks. So this is And Be Kind to One Another from Needlework Press. I had 3 projects that I asked you guys about in the last video, which one should I start? And you guys were kind of equal across the board. So I decided to go ahead and do this one because, well, I really like it, but also I don't have a piece going from Needlework Press. So I wanted to go ahead and start on one of their designs. So here's what I got done. I think I stitched on this for maybe 2 days. I can't really remember. I am using my own floss conversion. So let me look here. The pattern uses all classic colorworks, and then there is an option for DMC or Anchor, and I did not have any of the flosses that were called for. I probably have some of them, but they were in other projects, so I just went ahead and did my own conversion. So I have some Roxy Floss Co. This one hasn't been pulled out yet. It's just kind of, it's the same color almost as the linen. This is a hand-dyed piece of 40 count that is a kind of creamy ecru with a little bit of gray modeling, just very, very slight. Be Speckled is going to go, I believe it's just the windows of the house, so that's okay. And then I have some Gentle Arts. We have Piney Woods and Walnut for the brown. I have some Weeks in here. This is Lancaster Red. That's going to be, that's all this red here instead of Red Currant. And then another Roxy Floss Co. for the blue is Let It Be. Then this one's kind of the wild card. This is Otter Creek for the majority of the green. This one is kind of like, it's very variegated and it's browny green and almost a bluey green. So that's going to be interesting. And then this is a piece that I hand dyed for the kind of lighter pink. But I discovered that actually when I pulled all those flosses, it was for one of the other patterns in the trio that go together. You know how they have like the designs that go together. So a couple of those flosses aren't needed in this design. Oh, I almost forgot my gold. You need, basically you need a blue, red, gold, green, brown for this design. So this is Threadworks 11051, and it's a beautiful, highly variegated gold. So really excited to pull that in. So basically you may notice that with my conversion, I lighten things up a little bit. All of the colors are like a darker version of what you're looking at. So the blue is like a very dark navy. The red is a little bit more severe. The green is definitely a lot darker. And so I just wanted it like a little bit lightened up. So here's what I got done in the 2 days. Really enjoying this piece. This is a very thin project. So this is the width of it. So I got from side to side, and now it's just going to go down. So really enjoying that. And this is 40 count, stitched 1/2, and I think that's everything about that one. Okay, so I spun the wheel 2 more times during the last 2 weeks after I finished the 2 projects that I spun with you guys in my last video. And this was the first of the 2, and when this came up I was like, oh my goodness. Okay, so I had put this on my wheel even though my first time stitching on this, I was like, this is so difficult. It is hurting my brain. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this, even though I love this design so very much. I just thought, there's no way I can do this pattern. However, what I decided to do is mark up my booklet, and that was going to help me be able to be successful at stitching this piece. So this kind of stitching is just, it's very confetti heavy. It really, like, I'm right here in this man's coat, and it's just like a bunch of shades of brown and stuff, and it was so hard to keep track of where I was. I'm just going to flash the pattern really quick. I started highlighting. So basically, here's where I got to, and I am so proud of myself because I didn't think I was going to be able to do this, but the highlighting helped me so much. It's basically like having it in the RXP markup or whatever that app is called that I use for my Hade and for my spring montage. So anyway, I just had a little bit in here done, and I think I had this bordering done to see how tall it was going to go, and I put in all of the rest of that. So I also really surprised myself that I loved stitching on this. I had such a nice time. So this is a piece of, it's from Atomic Ranch. It's a 40 count, very light cyan kind of shade. And I will put up on the screen what the name of the fabric is, but I really, really love it. So as you can see in the design, it's stitched on more of like a powdery blue. So I definitely wanted the same look, but I felt like this color blue was just very, very 90s. So I went with this and I really enjoyed it. So again, just like Cardinal Points, a project that I thought I couldn't do, I kind of found my way how to continue with the project, and which makes me so happy because both this and Cardinal Points, I love the design, so I didn't want to give up on it. So anyway, there is my progress. That is Stoney Creek Oh Holy Night Nativity. Oh, and I'm stitching with this with the DMC, and it has so much DMC. Like, it's probably the same amount that I'm using for my spring montage full coverage. So much. And so yeah, that's intense. Oh yeah, and I also already got the beads and the specialty floss that go with it. I'm not going to be putting those in till the end probably, at least the beads. So, but I do have them when I'm ready. The final WIP that I have to share with you is a BAP, big ass project. This is the Dutch Steps of Life from GGR, and it's that booklet where you also get a needlework press pattern on the back, or you know, it's doubled in there. So really love that. So this is stitched on a little piece of wild card fabric. This is a fat half because it's a whole blanket for this project, and it is green. There's some teals in there, and there's like 3 shades of green in there. But anyway, this is going to be fun. So I'm stitching this on 40 count 1/2 with my own conversion of flosses. Most of these are colors that I hand dyed. I do have Weeks Conch and Classic Colorworks Black Coffee in here. I have Roxy Floss Co. Goody Blue Shoes. And then I have Picket Fence from Gentle Arts, Forbidden Fiber Coat Snowdrift. There's actually 2 like icy blues in here. And then another Roxy Floss Co. This is Chick. But the rest of them are flosses that I hand dyed for this project. And I got quite a bit of progress done, quite a bit. So before I only had this star done, a little bit of the bordering over here, and then like 2 leaves. And all the rest of that I did in 2 days that I was stitching on this because I was having so much fun. So I just love GGR patterns, and I'm so excited to actually get like a good amount of work done on one of the ones that I've been really wanting to start. The other one that I want to start is Virginie Grimoire, I think is what it's called. But if you all probably know, but the GGR patterns, these are the original pieces on the, when you purchase the pattern. So you don't actually, it's like a mystery stitch along because you don't actually know what your piece is truly going to look like till you start stitching on it. Like, look how different that looks from that corner up there, because this is all like sun beaten down. The color, I mean, the bright terracotta shade is still showing up really well, but I don't know, it looks so different as you start stitching on it. And I picked this piece of fabric specifically. I dyed it to look like this because I still wanted it to look very similar to this. But yeah, I'm really excited. It is going to be so fun. So this stitches up really fast because all the motifs are pretty spread out. So I'm like moving through the pattern pretty quickly. So I'm already to the middle of the design. So it's only going to be double that width, and then it goes down 3 times as long as this, or 1, 2, 3. So I would say that I'm about 1/6 of the way done, which is surprising me for only 2 days of additional stitching past that first day. So yeah, I'm really loving it. The variegation's showing up pretty well in my flosses, and since I'm stitching it on this green, I feel like my ecru shade is showing up pretty good. Like for these flowers, I mean, if I was stitching on a lighter piece, you really wouldn't even see them at all. You kind of don't hardly see them now, but that's just how it goes, and I'm loving it. And my friend Heidi and I, we're stitching this together. I think I have a little bit of a jump start on her but she's also going to stitch it, I think, on some fun fabric. So I'm excited to see her stitching for this one as well, because we both love GGR. If you love GGR, go watch the latest video from, I'm drawing a blank right now. I'm going to put it right up here on the screen though. Go watch her video because she talks all about GGR and has some finishes, and obsessed. That was such a good video. So this was my final whip. I just wanted to show you some more of the fabric. It does get like pretty dark with the green. It's super, super fun. All right, so those were all of my whips. Now I have some haul to share with you. It's not a ton of haul, but I did pick up a few things, and I specifically grabbed some soie d'Alger for a project that Heidi and I are going to start while we're in France by Reflet de Soie. I'm very, very excited for it. I was just kitting this up this morning, and those silks just feel so good and they are so beautiful. So I'll share those with you here in just a minute. So let's go ahead and take a look at haul. Before I get into haul, I want to announce the winner of the giveaway from last video. So we had this adorable little patriotic pattern. I'll put it up on the screen here, and the winner's name as well. Thank you so much for entering the giveaway. Please contact me at the email address that is in the description bar of this video, and I would love to send you that pattern. So thank you so much. This is going to be the giveaway for this video. This is another pattern that I double purchased. So a Plant of Rapid Growth from Heartstring Samplery. Here's a look at the whole piece. It is so, so cute, hence why I purchased it twice. I actually have a spreadsheet, guys, where I can keep track of my patterns so I don't double purchase things. But sometimes oops happens. So if you would like to enter to win this giveaway, please just leave me a comment. Be subscribed to the channel. You need to be 18 years or older to enter. And leave me a comment that has plant in the answer, and you will be entered to win. And I will choose a winner for the next video and announce the winner in that video. So best of luck. Thank you so much for joining me for this video, and I am so excited to send this pattern to one of you. So like I said, I have a little bit of haul. This is Fractor Flowers by Kathy Barrick. Some of the stitchy shops that I love to shop at, such as 123 Stitch, Top Knot Stitcher, Everything Cross Stitch, Colorado Cross Stitcher, they send me emails whenever they add something new to, if you're on their email list, to their shop. So sometimes they just snag me with new stuff. So this is Fractor Flowers. I don't think this is new, but somebody, it might have been Top Knot Stitcher, was having a sale. This is Agnes Platt's Strawberry Sampler. So you get this one. This is the B-Scap one. Then there's this little guy here. And then this, I believe, is Agnes Platt's Strawberry Sampler. So, yes, so cute. Then I picked up Liberty Hill Farm from Summer House Stitch Works. I want to do some drums. And this, I saw this when I was shopping. I think this was from Colorado Cross Stitcher. Sherry from Colorado Cross Stitcher, she is the speediest shipper, I think, that of any shop that I shop at. And she gets stuff out so quickly. That's why I wanted to get the Soie d'Alger from her for the Coquelicot project that Heidi and I decided to start together in France. I shopped with her because she's so fast. She's also lovely, and she has a Flosstube if you haven't checked it out. So anyway, I grabbed this to go with the floss because I didn't want them to have to travel alone. At one of the other sales, I think I picked up this Ho 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 from the Scarlet House. And I also grabbed Baby It's Cold Outside from Heartstring Sampler. I checked. I didn't already have this one. It is so, so cute though. Lots of times I will not pick up a pattern that has a giant white house because I just don't want to stitch that much white. I, of course, will stitch it on this because that's snow. But I was just thinking the other day that I don't need to stitch a white house. I can change it to any color that I want to. like, for example, I think there's a lot of Plum Street houses that are white. I mean, I could stitch those whatever color I want to and not worry about the white house. The last piece of haul is this project. This was also on sale at one of those shops. This is just Nora Corbett's Libra from the Zodiac series, and one of my daughters is a Libra, so I thought this would be fun. It came with the little beads and everything, so I thought that would be fun if I ever stitch that for her. She can have it and hang it up. I do have, I think, just one digital download. I actually had this last video, but I forgot to talk about it. It's the Lola Crow Greenhouse of Oddities stitch along that I see everybody stitching on, and so I just needed to have it. I'm not planning to start it while the stitch along is still going, just because I have so many other things I'm doing right now, but I didn't want to miss out on it, so I went ahead and snagged that as well. Alright, so whips and haul, and now I'm going to talk about plans. So I'm not going to draw 2 random projects because I picked projects specifically for this trip that are small and compact, that are going to travel easily with me, but also I picked stuff from my mania that I want to get finished up, and I'm going to have, like, hopefully have a little finish parade for you in my next video. I'm sure I'm being overly ambitious, and when you see these projects I'm taking, you're going to be like, okay, but I am hoping to finish a bunch of them up because they're from my mania from 2 years ago, most of them. So not this last May, but the previous one. So we're gonna see how many little finishes I can get. All right, time to talk about my plans. I've got this little stitchy bag. I actually forget where I got this, but it is like the perfect size for taking stuff on an airplane. So let me go ahead and show you my Coquelicots plan. This is a piece of hand-dyed by me linen, some light blue, lots of modeling in there. Here are the Soie d'Alger, and I'm going to pop up on the screen the pattern so you guys can see what I'm going to be working on. And this one we're going to start like when we are at the Palace of Versailles, just in the gardens, and we're going to start it there together. So here's how the flosses look together. So beautiful, so luscious and bright and lovely. I'm obsessed. So really excited, but I have a specific day that I'm going to start this one, and the rest of these I'm just going to pull out whenever I'm feeling like it. All right, so I'm just pulling these from the bag as I go. So this first project is Hello Halloween from Sue Hillis Designs. So my plan is to try to get finishes of a bunch of my 2021 Mania starts. So this one probably will not get finished. This one has enough left to be done that I will probably be stitching on this last out of everything that I'm bringing, but I'm bringing it anyway because I want to have variety, because, you know, variety is the spice and all that stuff. So here's where I'm at. So we'll see if I get some good work done on that. The next pattern that I'm taking with me is this Gathering Honey from Luminous Fiber Arts. I'm not taking any, well, I just have everything in Ziploc bags. It's going to make it really easy for the trip. This one is perfect for this trip because I'm stitching this with Schneckley from Weeks. So there's only one little bit of floss I need to take, and it's a tiny little pattern, so we'll see what I get done on here. You guys can tell by this design that I prefer stitching in columns rather than stitching in rows. But this one's so cute. I would love to have all of them in this series done. This is using 2 strands of floss over 2 on, I think it's 32 count, which is not my preference, but that's okay. So that was another Mania whip. Here's another one, and I'm doing the Craft Center of Fine Stitcheries conversion from my LNS in Salt Lake. And so this is Heart and Hand Friendship Garden. This is another one of my Mania pieces, so I would love it if I got this done. and it's just so cute and so happy. Again, this is 2/2, so not really my preferred. It's one of the reasons I want to get some of these older things out of my Mania WIPs, because I just don't really love stitching with 2 strands of floss anymore. And so these are the conversion of overdyed flosses from the Craft Center Fine Stitchery. This is on Ada. I think it's like a 16 or 18 count Ada, and I think it's Country Mocha. So there's that. Next up is the Fox from Cottage Garden Samplings. This is probably my second. This will be stitching on second. I want to get this finished up really badly on this trip. So this one will be a push for a finish first, or second really, and then we'll see if any of those other things I just showed you get finished. But I feel like I've pulled this out so many times for my Flosstube random draw, and I'm just not getting it done, and I don't really know why. It's probably because it's 2 strands and it's on a piece of Ada. This is on Coat of Doves by Atomic Ranch Fabrics, and it's just too snug. I don't love pulling the floss through it. It gets twisted and knotted a lot, and I wish that I had just done 1 strand of floss probably, or just use a different fabric. I like the feel of it. It feels very nice, but it's not as fun to stitch on. So anyway, yeah, hopefully, cross my fingers, you will see this one done when I get back. All right, this is the project that I'm going to work on first in the airplane. I'll have a lot of stitching done on this. I really don't have very much left to go. I need to get this arm in here, finish up her shirt. There's just like a few things left. I love this piece so much. This is a hand-dyed piece of 32 count Murano that had all these pink speckles on it, and then I dyed it with green. I love how it looks. This is Barbara Anna Witchy Dreams, by the way. I have my working copy ready to go in this bag so that I don't have to use up my phone battery to keep looking at my PDF download, and I just love it. So this one has also come out a few times, and I haven't managed to finish it yet, so I'm going to finish this first before I move on to the Fox. So you will definitely see this finished by the time I come back. I am again using 2 strands over 2 on this one. So again, trying to clear out those projects that don't have the floss that I would prefer. This is all the called for DMCs. I don't think there are any overdyed flosses in this one, and I love this pattern so much. I'm so excited to have it up for Halloween this year. So this one will for sure be done. The last project I'm taking with me, this will also for sure be done. This is from Little House Needleworks, Joyfulness. I almost had a finish on this last time I pulled it out, so I will definitely have this done as well by the time we have our next, by the time we meet again. This is another project that is 2 strands of floss over 2, and so it just doesn't go as quickly for me. Things get knotted and it's just not as fun, but we all have our preferences, and I still love it. So I still want to finish all these things. I'm going to get them done before you see me next. I'm very, very excited to get a bunch of finishes while I'm on this trip. So this is just the called for DMCs, and that is my final project I'm taking. I know I said I was taking a lot. I just want to have options. So yes. Okay. That's it for plans.
Alright guys, so that is everything that I have to share with you today. I am now going to go edit this video so that I have that all wrapped up and taken care of before we begin packing tomorrow. I am kind of like a last minute person, not with like the big stuff, but I haven't packed yet and we're leaving tomorrow. But I also wear the same like 10 outfits, and they all are bicycle shorts and a t-shirt. Occasionally you see me in a blouse in these videos, but I really just always wear the same thing. So today I'm washing everything, and then tomorrow I will pack it all in a suitcase and we'll get ready to go. And I feel like as long as Tim and I, as long as we have each other, as long as I have my cross stitch, obviously, as long as we have chargers and our medicine, we're good to go, you know? I mean, I need my phone so I can take some wonderful pictures, but, you know, everything else, I don't know, it's just, they're just things, right? So if we forget something or whatever, we can grab it while we're in London when we get there. So I'm going to be getting into London about 1:30 London time, I think, on Saturday the 15th. So
I'm so excited, and I will see you guys back in 2 weeks when I get back from my trip. I hope you have a great couple stitchy weeks, and I appreciate you coming to hang out with me today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you back very soon. Bye!